Welcome back, sports fans, internet bantersauruses, and happy scrollers who accidentally landed on the best sports banter show featuring cricket and rugby legends talking to a comedian with impressive sounding but most likely dubious sporting credentials. That's right. I'm Nik Rabinowitz. This is Banter with the boys, but before we get to the bold and the banterful, let's catch up on what's been happening this week in the great wide world of sports.
Take it away.
In football, Man United suffered their sixth loss in 11 Premier League games since Portuguese coach Ruben Amorim's takeover. After their 3-1 defeat to Brighton, Amorim told his players they were the worst team in the club's history and should shape up or f*** up. Or f*** off. While in his words, destroyed everything in the Man United dressing room, flipping tables, kicking over chairs, and destroying a big screen TV. At which point Peter Steph the toy tore through the changing room door and screamed, "Ashe Banga Se!" When questioned about the incident, Rassie Erasmus says he's never done that.
He's never done that.
The Australian Tennis Open has served up heaps of drama. Channel 9 sports commentator Tony Jones, aka Chompers, publicly apologised to Novak Djokovic for having a go at him.
Novak's a has-been. Novak, kick him out.
And now, we're neither pro-vac nor no-vac here at Banter with the boys, but the Serbian has won pretty much everything there is to win in tennis. So it's fair to ask, why the 24-time men's Grand Slam winner cares about the opinions of a man who got pied off by one of his colleagues live on air? Well, the answer is, it turns out Djokovic is very sensitive to any kind of jab. In rugby, despite Skulkberger's warning, if you want to star, you better take it to the next level. All the SA teams have crashed out of the Investec Champions Cup. Travel requirements, squad depth, and stiff URC demands have all been listed as reasons for their poor form, but as every Safa who's ever spent a gap here in the UK knows, it's already very cold over there right now, and none of the guys brought long pants. In Formula One, Team Haas has just appointed Laura Miller as F1's first ever female race engineer. Laura will be the voice in the driver's ear throughout the race, you know, the one you hear on the live broadcast. Let's hope the drivers feel as comfortable telling her to go f*** herself as they do with the male race engineers, because that's true equality.
Can't say that.
As usual, I'm joined by two sporting legends here on Banter with the Boys. To my left, Dave Grohl, Green Day, and Offspring lover, the band, as well as his own Offspring. It's St. Kitts and Nevis Patriots, Proteas all-rounder, Lisa Morris's husband, Chris.
Nice.
And to my right,
Hi.
Oxtail Poiki lover, former Springbok captain, and record-breaking Boland under-13 backstroke swimmer, Marley de Villiers' husband, Jean.
Nice.
De Villiers.
Woo. De Villiers.
How you doing, guys? Good. Isn't it wonderful to be back here at Faris?
What's it like to be the third most famous De Villiers in the country after AB and what's your coach's name?
No, fourth. Actually fifth. AB de Villiers.
Yeah.
Peter de Villiers.
Yes.
Fanny de Villiers.
Oh, vinniger.
Janiel de Villiers.
Yeah.
And then maybe me. H.O. de Villiers. Dami de Villiers.
Cheapers. It's wonderful to be back at France, by the way.
There is chips, though. Yeah. Do you know, I did a lot of alcohol consumption here in my early 20s whilst I was a UCT student. 10 years ago. And as I walked in here, I remembered on one occasion, UCT opening batsman, Mike Wallace, actually stole, I understand his name, slightly. He actually, they used to have the roast over there, and he actually stole the entire Furry's roast one Sunday and legged it down Newlands Avenue. But that is actually, Chris Morris, a story for South African-born English cricketer Alan Lamb's podcast, Lamb on the Run.
Firskop.
Yeah, which doesn't exist,
At the
but
name,
it
Firskop.
should. Guys, the Betway SA20 cricket competition is in full swing.
And who's there right at the top?
Who is right at the top?
The Paul Rolls, the two Cape Sides. Paul Rolls and Mike Cape
Rolls
Side.
and Cape Town.
That's them.
Is that Paul?
No, that's Cape Town.
Oh, Cape Town.
Yes. Paul right at the top and then Cape Town.
I'm wearing my pink shoes for you in a couple of days' time.
Thank you very much.
Okay, just for you.
Nice. I'll wear my pink as well.
Once a world, always a world. I do my best work in the pink.
Have any Proteas cricketers come off?
Not yet.
I thought there was one. Who is going to win the Betway SA20 competition.
Oh, we know who Jean's going to choose.
No, it's definitely one of the two teams in the final. That'll win it.
So I called it before the tournament. I said,
It's right up there with Jacques Callis' prediction.
so I said before the tournament, I think my Cape Town are going to win it this year. They've had an absolutely shocking 2 years.
Yeah.
I did say that they were going to, while Ben Stokes was going to be here, he's obviously not here. Tore his hamstring very badly, so Ben Stokes.
Oh, yeah.
But I like the look of their squad. I like the match winners that they have. They've got X-factor players and bowling attackers seriously good. Trent Bolt adds another dynamic to that team. So if Rashid Khan, Trent Bolt, KG Rabada, Delano Potgieter can do that. The work George Lindu gets it to do that. And then with the power
Smashes some sixes.
and they've got power at the top, power in the middle, and the bowling power.
So here's my thing.
I think they're going to...
With T20 cricket, okay?
Yes.
You take Durban Super Giants.
Yeah,
Oh, classy.
yeah.
World-class player.
Yeah.
Hasn't scored any runs. Okay?
He's ginger.
Yeah, it's fine. We won't hold that against it. They slip into the playoffs. He comes off 2 games, smashes 80 of 30 balls. They win the comp. So we can be predicting, but I think there are so many elements to brilliance or X factor from an individual that can totally swing it the other way.
That's T20 cricket, isn't it?
Yeah, but in terms of what we've seen, I agree. My Cape Town's been really good. I think the Paul Royals have played really well. The fact that they will be losing Joe Root for the playoffs, certainly in terms of their odds, that declines a little bit.
Might hamper them. Also, there's a certain 2-time defending champion team that you need to worry about because they're always slow starters in the
The
tournament.
dark horses from the Eastern
From the Eastern Cape. They are always dangerous. They lost their first 3 games in the first season, ended up winning it. Last season, they lost their first 2 games, ended up winning it. So this has lost their first 3. They've gone back-to-back bonus point wins. All of a sudden, they're in the mix with those bonus points now. Yeah. Well, if they find a rhythm as a team, which they've shown that they can do, and they get the right combination of, in that side of like, as you do in sports, you find the right combination, everything clicks and match winners come in,
Explain the playoffs.
become dangerous.
How does the playoffs work? So it's in
Like Ace Ventura now. So playoffs, so it's 2 qualifiers. So you get a qualifier. So that's 1 plays against 2.
okay.
From there, whoever wins that game goes straight to the final. Then the 3rd and 4th play each other in an eliminator.
Yes.
Whoever wins that goes to play against the loser of the qualifier, and whoever wins that goes to the final. So
Got you.
it's quite nice. I like the format because if you're in top 2, it gives you an opportunity because you played well throughout the tournament, opportunity to go straight through, and it gives you an opportunity to make up if you do lose in that game. So I quite like that format. I think it's good. And if you do finish 4th and you get to the final, you're done it the hard way. So I quite like that. I think
And do you
nice.
think there's a disadvantage if you go, because the tournament kind of goes, you almost play every 3rd day kind of thing. If you do go straight to the final, the fact that you won't be playing for 4 days, do you think there's a disadvantage in that? Or
No, I think a lot of guys will talk about saying, "Oh no, you want to carry on playing cricket, you want to carry on." But I think the reality is, if much of a muchness, and also as a bowler, I mean, it's only 4 overs, but the intensity of a T20 game, it's actually nice to have a couple of days off.
I think the prediction we should rather have is who will be the 2 teams that misses out on the playoffs, because I think whoever makes it into the top 4, anyone can win it.
That's a good shot. We've got time for that. So who's not going to be there? I'll tell you why I would like 2 teams to be there, and that's Pretoria Capitals for obvious reasons and JSK. But why I say I'd like them in there is because the playoffs have been played up in the Highveld. So 2 qualifiers and a final all in the Highveld. So you want a local team to be there. The stand's going to be full anyway, but you want that extra added emotion when you've got a local team playing in the final. So I would like to see that personally. I would like to see that.
Yeah.
But that's just me being me. I'm a people's person. I want TV to look good. I want the emotion to. When I commentate, I want to shout. So.
But before you put all your money on Cape Town or PAR, as they say in the Eastern Cape, because the dark horses of Port Elizabeth are coming. Speaking of Eastern Cape cricketing royalty, on today's show, we are privileged to have a man who's played 101 test matches for his country, 390 test wickets, 226 ODI scalps. It's former Dale College Border Warriors, Warwickshire, Chennai, Kent, and Tanzania Willows fast bowler, the trailblazing Mtengi Express, Makhaya Ntini. aka Matuna Lokala Msutu Kupezu
uJiyane Mphungushe Mandla Makhulu indoda ekhulele kwilali yasemdingi owabhaqwa nguBoy esalusa inkomo umlandeli webhodele mamajola unyana wasemphuma koloni uyinqaba ukuvula indlela uyinkosi yaqhamba yeham
Bulela mna ntangam man.
yeah.
Moleko ngiphelile manje. Mola usabila we. Andazi wena bona icala kunjani kwentangam.
Hi, Makhaya.
Mackie, wonderful to see you. Oh, you're looking fit as a fiddle, as they say in Get Castle.
Hayi faka nje wena ilamun phakathi labo uzaba.
Mackie, you are a Proteas legend. Take us back to the early years. With no shoes on. Nasset on King Williamstown, Masfoseni. Okay. And how much harder do you think your career would have been if your name had a click in it?
It has a click on it.
Which one?
That's the back in the ball.
That's the rare sound of him timing it through the covers.
Yeah.
Your dad was a cricketer.
Yes. My dad was a cricketer.
Was that your first exposure to the game?
Not really, but when I was very young, when he showed us the pictures, we only see the picture that he played for Watersrand. That was Johannesburg during the mines. You know, so that's when you see your dad with pictures and then you look at that. Watersrand. We didn't even know that. You know, there was a club called Watersrand, but there was what you call the mines boys when they having a free time, they played together. So he was a good.
Was he a night watchman?
I hope so, you know, but he was holding the bat, you know, so I don't know. Probably he was one of those that he gets sent in and say, okay, it's your turn. But they were all black though. There was no white guys. So the white guys, they only send the black guys when it's getting darker. So they cannot see the ball so that you go in.
You've told the story hundreds of times, but tell us about being discovered, Baker's mini cricket. Oh boy. Was it
Greg Hayes, yeah, Raymond Boy.
Raymond Boy who found you? You were herding cows,
Yeah.
riding horses.
Yep, that's my middle.
You recall the day they came.
No, you know how it happens. You know, I was actually, we were going to fetch the horses, according, and we passed this ground in our rural areas, and then we saw these cars, and then we said, what's happening here? And then we stand in a distance, and then we overlook. But while we're standing away, they sent two guys to come in and call us. But we couldn't go there because we have to take the kettles back home. But the next time they said, no, they're coming every Wednesday. So let's join them at this particular time. So that's how we were found.
But that was mini cricket, right?
Yes, that's what Baker's at that time.
Baker's mini cricket.
Yeah.
You could play up to like 10 years old, but you were 15.
No, they play up until 14.
Was it 14?
Yes. You know, I was 15, so I couldn't, you know, play with them when they have those mini tournaments.
But of course, you were throwing stones and no
Yeah, you got it right. And I told you that.
Yeah, sauces.
So you Earthing's capital, were you used to being hit to Kalkuna?
No. Let's just run it down.
Sorry.
Let's run it down.
Not hitting the cock.
Never forget. Never.
They then give you a pair of, you don't have any shoes.
No, yes, I didn't have at that time. Yes.
You're walking around barefoot.
No, he started with Raymond Boy.
Yeah.
He's takers. But his takers were old. So we had to tie it up with wire in front because every time I walk, they were talking back at me.
Oh, like the soul.
Yeah, the soul, yeah. Hello. And they keep on dragging. So, and then Greg has saw that. And then now when we had the under-17, under-15 tournament in Queenstown, so he had to take me to one of the sports shop in Queenstown. And then when he walked in, he says, Greg says, take whatever you want. This is a sports shop. And then I looked around, and I see, you know, there were shoes called Patrick.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's when I picked up those.
Those were rugby pants, weren't they?
No, those. The
Patrick game. Cricket spike game, right?
Those are my first shoes.
Those are your first shoes. Yeah. And they told you no cow herding in these. What did they say?
Look, they actually, you know, when when I got those, and then I wore them, and then we're practicing at the Queen's, which is Queen's College. Now I couldn't take them off. You know, that's how I enjoyed them. Because now all of a sudden there's nothing flipping in front of me. I ended up walking them during the lunchtime, and then they were asking, "Who's wearing those?" And you get to say, "No, it's that boy," which the boy was me.
Yes.
You know, so that's how I actually started playing.
Is it true that your trademark wide of the crease delivery actually
that-
comes from having to bowl on concrete?
Yes. Dell College, remember I had a scholarship as well, straight away at Dell College after I came back from Australia with the, there was a academy called, Don Bradman, the Don Bradman Academy. So I went to that one. So when I came back, and then I went straight to Dell College. So Dell College, that concrete, concrete slab a little bit, and then you have the actual slab. So because of me not having techies, so I ended up using my Patrick, but I bowl on the grass side. So that's where the angle come from.
I'm a little bit confused with the chronology, but 95, you tour England with the under-19
Yes.
squad. And I believe, was it the church that did a collection, your King Williamstown congregation?
Yes, that's the village. That was when I went to Australia.
Australia.
Yes. That was when to Australia. And then they slaughtered chicken for me.
Yes.
That was home garden. Yeah. So when they did that, they made this, you guys call it a lunchbox.
Scuffed in.
Yes. So I took the scuffing with me, going to Australia. And then as I get into when you get to the airport, you have those machines. Yeah, those machines, they go,
Yes. They picked up the chicken.
they actually did. They picked up the chicken, and then now I had to explain what's in my bag, and I tell them, no, this is scuffed in some. Ne? And then they say, no, I'm not allowed to go with this. Is why? Because it's got a bones in it. So I said, what do you mean it's got a bones? What do you want to do with bones? So no, you might step someone. And I'm a robo. What the hell I want to step in someone?
No, I've got my knob curry for that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they saw that, and then they took.
You also took blankets to Australia, didn't you?
No, they took all of that because as a rural boy, you've never been in a plane. That's number one. Number two, you don't know where you're going. So your parents, they pack anything that can help you. So I had my blankets, and they said, no, don't worry. You're flying in the business class, so you're going to get your blanket.
They were flying business class.
Of course. Your first time ever.
David Malcom.
Yeah, I call him
was in Australia.
I call him Matlakaponyela.
Okay. They ask you don't speak English. The Aussies say to you, what is your name, fast
I'm
bowler?
a fast bowler. That was the only name one. So those were the guys who were actually running the Bradman Academy. And then I couldn't relate whatever that they were saying. So they called David. And then David ended up being a translator. But now the guys ended up figuring out, okay, how to maneuver my understanding. So they had to stand in front of me, do everything in action. So I will pick it up from that, and then I'll do it.
Tell us about some of the players on that first under-19 tour who you ended up playing in the Pro
South Africa. Mark Boucher,
Yep.
Neil McKenzie was my captain. So both of us, and David Tebrucha was there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and
Buta.
Puta Tipena was there as well. 19
Neil McKenzie introduced you.
to roll on.
Tell us about that.
So the starting's name, I'll go back and refer as a roll boy. In our roll, we don't have, roll on. So we use the soap, the sunlight soap. The normal thingy, the one that they put in the window. Yeah, so we use that one after you finish showering, you just and then your arm puts one smell. But now there's none of that in England. So McKenzie and Boucher, after training, they call me up in their room and says, Mackie, your armpits. And so you need to go and find roll on. Fair enough. Downtown. I'm a listener, which is something that I was actually brought up into. Went to town, myself and Tulani Mweni, he was a left arm spinner. So we went to town, and then we went to this chemist, and we found the roll-ons. We asked anyway. And then looking into the picture of the actual package, there was the one that has flowers in it. So I opened it and I smelled it, and then I went back to McKenzie and this is, smell this. It smells like roses. And then he couldn't stop laughing.
We're getting to the good stuff now, but first let's shift focus to the heartbeat of every cricket match, the fans. And to see what the Supersport Park crowd had to say, we sent out our sexiest field reporter, Christopher Henry Morris.
So young and so innocent. Oh, we're at Supersport Park. We're back with Banter with the fans, yeah. What do you love about the Betway SA20?
My kids love it. A lot of people don't come here to watch the cricket, and I love it.
The vibe and the music. I love the action, the sixes, the wickets.
One thing I like about the Betway SA20, you come off like a bit of a bend over December, and then it just doesn't finish.
The party does not stop. If you were bought in the Betway SA20 auction, what would your demands be in your contract?
Lamborghini.
20% of my contract going to charities. Maybe a V-class included. I would actually appreciate that.
A beach house.
A beach house.
24/7 personal masseuse.
If Makhaya Ntini was a rugby player, what position would he play?
He would have been a good player. Definitely charging it at an outside centre.
Serious pace off the mark.
He's a quick man. I think he would have started on the wing.
Well, that's that for Banter with the fans here at Supersport Park. I will definitely try to catch you on the next one.
Well, those fans, Jean de Villiers, are definitely high on cricket. Makhaya, can we take a moment to talk about the highest cricket match ever played at Mount Kilimanjaro in 2014? I've got to be honest, firstly, the highest cricket match sounds like a situation where somebody called you to ask for Herschel Gibbs' number and you ended up playing in the ensuing confusion. But tell us about playing at
Mount
Kilimanjaro. How far did you get up?
We went all
To the top?
Yeah, we submitted, yeah. We at Uhuru.
I always thought the highest game of cricket was the 82-run victory over the West Indies in April 2001 when Herschel and 5 others, I think it was Roger Taylor, Marcus, Paul Adams, Andre Nall, and don't forget the physio, Craig Cliff.
Were caught smoking in Tsangu. And I love the name of the hotel.
I was an organizer for that.
The Jolly Beach Resort.
Yeah, I was organizer for that.
You were organizer?
Black guy. So going through the West Indian hours, they say, "How you doing, man? You know, can I get some small key?"
Do you burn trees?
Yeah, man. They say, the other one says that while I was going for shopping, and then he says, "Are you walking in my yard, man?" It was too high. So I organized that, but they ended up smoking. They didn't wait for me.
Here's a great stat from the 95 Under-19 tour. You didn't start all that well. You were actually the most expensive bowler on tour after wicketkeeper Mark Barcher. He bowled a couple of overs that were more expensive than yours. And of course, the first time scorers had to write down what would become a world famous form of dismissal, caught Barcher bowled Ntini. He became second on the list of the highest number of dismissals in the test match by a South African pair. First most wickets for a bowler/fielder in ODI, 75 caught Barcher bowled Ntini. But tell us about that partnership. Where did it begin?
It begins from border because Boucher is a Selbonian, and then I was a Dalian. So both of us, we started at the same time from under 15, up until the under 19, and then the border until he left border and came to Cape Town. So that's the friendship started very, very at a young age. For me, my working with him, it was in a base of understanding each other. He can run from ever and come and say whatever that he want to say to me, and then we understood each other. If he says that this is nonsense, I will know that that's actually nonsense. He's telling the truth. Because this is a guy that is actually seeing it all. Even if my run-up is not good, and then he will feel it from his hand and say, no, there's something wrong here. So I need to fix that. So the friendship, it was more based on that.
I think there's a great learning in that, because obviously both of you, even though you're both from the Eastern Cape, come from vastly different backgrounds. And to be able to find a common denominator, which is cricket, to bring you together and then create a friendship where even though we are very different, we can speak openly to each other and we trust each other because of the relationship that's been built.
Even my first tour and his first tour to Australia, and then we played the same the same game, but he was already in front of me because I played my first game against New Zealand in Australia. He was a wicketkeeper at that time as well. He even came to my village as well because the whole village was at the airport. And then all of us, both of us, we went to Wamtingi as Lalimi. He was there and his parents was there. And then he saw everything that was happening when they slaughtered the cow. So he was part and parcel of that. So it was not just from the cricket field point of view. We became almost a family friends.
Yeah, that's great. You play your first class games for Border, 17 games.
Order, yeah.
And then you get a call up
For South Africa.
the Proteas. How long before you make your Proteas debut? Is it a couple of years?
No, 2 years. Well, I started playing for Border 95. So 1998, I played for South Africa.
95.
In 1997, we went on tour with the same squad to England, but we were not playing. Myself, Monando Haywood, Paul Adams.
Ginger.
Yeah, and Paul Adams. So 4 of us, we were just touring players. So that was 1997. 1998, that's when I made my debut.
Your first test wicket, do you remember it?
Almost definitely. De Silva.
I remember sugar. Hey, don't
You're my, yeah, no, man.
don't duck the bouncer that comes back at you, Mark.
No, Zinda, De Silva,
Oh, I remember.
Voucher, right here.
Court Barter, Ntini.
That's when Makhaya made his debut.
Yes.
And then I asked him about that history. No one knows it. And I said, look at that. Huh? You're making a debut in the same ground that I made a debut on.
Yeah.
That's the same thing, isn't it?
Yeah, but your wicket was cooler than his, eh? Left down the leg side, his.
How was that?
Yours.
My one was right here, boss.
Don't duck Makhaya's bounces, they always follow you. I never ducked, I just.
How long from that debut to being ranked, I think you got up to second in the ICC
No.
rankings at one point? What was it first?
Number one.
Number one.
Where were you, bud? I even
High school.
come on.
I was in high school.
You make me look so old. In my brain.
How many years between that debut and number one?
2005 and 6, I was number one.
And suddenly you become the 7th fastest to 250, was it?
Yes.
You go past 300, the 3rd SA cricketer, and you're still 3rd highest
We get taking.
on 309. KG is sneaking up there. He's in 5th place, 327.
He has to pass Alan Donald.
High strike rates of any bowler with more than 300. Tell us about, you call him, is it Rolls Royce?
It's Rolls Royce.
What's your nickname for him?
That's him. We call it in a Tosacom. Rolls Royce.
Yes.
KG. Yeah.
We call him Brian Charles.
Brian Charles.
Brian
Lara.
Charles.
Yeah, they of Soweto.
Brian Charles Rabada.
Yeah, of Soweto. They rose of Soweto. Yeah, we do that as well.
By the way, you've got some unusual nicknames for guys on the commentary. What are some of the other ones?
We've got Ingambu, which is now. He has Ingambu Root.
Joe Root.
Yeah, Joe Root is Ingambu. And then we've got Stubbs Makwakweta. Yeah, because of Umkweli. You know Umkweli? Zimbone Peti Saha.
The carver.
Yeah, Unoli Umkweli. It fits everything.
Sach.
Yeah, Isaha, Zimbone Peti Saha. So.
Okay. Tristan, petit sa.
Yeah, we've got this pets. We've got it Peti Gam Gam.
Gum.
Peti Gam Gam.
Okay.
Peti Gam.
Yes.
Yeah, Peti Gam Gam. Yeah, Maru Shiman's a call. He left it wet every time. He wakes up and this bed is got a flipping hole and patch.
Really?
He doesn't score runs. So he said, what's going on here, bud?
22 5-wicket hauls. I think that is perhaps second most after Alan Donald.
Yeah, okay.
Alongside Alan Donald, behind Dale Steyn. What are some of the most memorable ones?
I think they...
Apart from Lords, we'll come to Lords.
No, the partnership between myself and Sean Pollock. More than 500 wickets. That's another one.
Yes, bowling partnerships people don't often talk about.
No, they don't. No, myself and Coley, more than 500 wickets. If
you look at through the years, the bowling, so the most recent one that you can notice about is Broad and Anderson.
Yes.
That bowling partnership is
unbreakable.
Same thing, like something like 700 test wickets
between the two of them. Yeah, my one and Paul was 500.
Your 4th most 10-wicket hauls. Let's talk about your first visit to Lords. You were, as you say, you were playing
And
You weren't playing
the tour, so
But they take you into, is it the long room or where the
no.
honors
Changing
board-
room.
Changing room.
Yeah, changing.
Honors boards are in the changing room.
Yeah.
Whose name do you see?
Marco Marshall on the 10th one because he's my hero. And then
Is that why the action was similar?
yes,
Ah,
and then
makes sense.
I went to Corey Fanzel after we finished training, and then I said to Corey, if I had a chance coming back and play at this ground, this is where my name will be. Before even I played, that was, you remember we had 4 years, what you call countries to countries. So I said to him, if I get a chance to come back here, and then be chosen to play, this is where my name will be. He didn't believe me. So when that happened and I took my first 5.
Hold on, fast forward 4 years. Is Corey still there 4 years later?
No, yeah, he was there.
What does he say to you when you arrive at
No, when he only believed it when I took my first 5. And then he comes to me and he says, remember 4 years ago you said your name will be here. And then I says, I'm going for it. And then remember we had, was this guy from Free State, he was a bowler.
Devils.
He got injured. In the same game, he bowled 1 over and then he got injured.
Devil Pretoria.
Yeah.
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 Quickly, yeah.
He got injured. And then I knew that this is my opportunity. His wicket has to be my one, rain or shine. So the rest can fight with the other 5 that I'm taking. my one and his ones, we put them together. So
And breaking Freddie's bat?
yep. And the second innings, yeah, but he was just climbing on us.
Yeah, he smacked it.
And then I broke his bat from toe straight to the handle. And then he never gave it to me though. I wanted that.
No, so I'll tell you why he doesn't give it to you, because I went on a school tour a couple of years after that.
And then you saw
And it was in the museum, his broken bat, with your photo, Lucky laughing at him, and because you were celebrating, he broke it. So there's a photo of you celebrating, and it's in the museum.
Oh, that's awesome. And then my name is there.
Yeah, it's in the Lord's.
Awesome. That's beautiful. Now he can keep it.
This is you kissing the pitch.
Yes.
The Lord's pitch.
I remember that. Asking Boucher if I can do it. And he says, no, go for it. No, I'm asking who? Boucher. Said, Kev, how can I do that? And then I went in and I kissed the ground.
That's so cool.
Beautiful, right?
Did you ever, because Malcolm Marshall played in Durban, right?
Yeah.
The punny.
Let me tell you something about that. It was 1990, 96, 97. And then Mackie came down. And then the worst part within all of that, Malcom Marshall was there. And then it was one of my, my dreams to actually meet him. But now he was going to bowl in the other end as an opposition, and I'm going to be bowling another end as an opposition. But the game didn't happen. Weather. It rained. It rained. It was my saddest moment of all time. But he did call me, and then we sat there and we had a good chat. That's when I went to, when we went to the West Indies. In actual fact, I went to visit his grave. And then I was actually passing his, most wicket taking, and then I was actually in the West Indies.
Oh, that's very cool.
It was beautiful.
It's crazy to think also, like, if you think of how many fast bowlers South Africa has produced, since 92 or whatever, but the West Indies influence. So if you think Malcolm Marshall playing in South Africa, Franklin Stevenson playing in South Africa,
Hollis King,
Sylvester Clark.
Clark, and then
Allison Johnson.
and not bowling, but Desmond
Baptiste.
Desmond
Drakes.
Brian Lara played for the Titans.
Alvin Calacharan played for Free State.
Yes.
Hey?
Played for Edward.
And then, which is the spinner that plays for Free State?
Oh yes, you're right.
Yeah, he plays
Adam,
for Free State.
Jimmy Adams.
Jimmy Adams,
Yeah, plays for the Free
Otis
State.
Gibson.
Wow. What I'm saying, when you're talking about Malcolm Marshall, Klusner and Sean Pollock, they were the same as Malcolm Marshall, similar action.
Yeah.
So, and then he had the influence as well from those two guys while he was playing with them.
It makes me think when you talk about the action, David Pike.
Hey. North West.
Yeah.
But bowling off the wrong foot.
We need to find a clip of that and put that in.
Yeah.
You have to see. Have you not seen it? David Pike's action.
Yeah.
Played for Natal.
And my daughter actually
And then
copied it.
From in a blender.
Okay, the name is just past my eyes now. He used to be my hero as well, and then he used to bowl the same way with which was not a wrong foot, but his foot used to come right in front of his face.
Darren Snell.
No. He plays for Transvaal. Richard Snell. You got that? Clearly.
Snell.
I used to love to watch that guy. His front foot.
Beautiful hair.
Yeah, bro.
Gorgeous hair.
He had an action, but he used to lose it as well.
Yeah.
He used to bowl down leg, but a quick.
Toughest batsmen on your list to bowl to?
Give us top 5.
Okay.
Top
Okay.
five.
Let me give
Top
you my
five.
top 5. I says Steve Waugh, Brian Lara, Sehwag, Tendulkar, and Chris Gay.
Sehwag in Chennai.
Stand and deliver 200 in the first 2 hours.
By himself.
Yeah. And the score was 201. Because the other guys only had one on the other side. He's got 200.
And locally, is that?
And locally, Gary Kestin, and then I'll
King,
say,
the king.
I'll Kestin, and then Amla.
Yeah.
I can put Ashim Amla there, and then I'll come back and say Jock Kallis.
Yes, the king.
Yeah, Kallis name there, and
Come on.
so you're waiting for that is done.
I was ready for the king.
Inzamam ul Haq. You helped us.
Yusuf.
Mohammed
Yes.
Yusuf.
Yeah. That was another guy.
Mohammed Yusuf.
You picked up the likes of Inzamam ul Haq in your first series in Pakistan. How did you pick Inzamam up? Was it with a forklift or?
I use a tractor. To pull him out of his.
You got Brian Lara out a number of times in the West Indies. What was that like?
Yes. It was because I used to bowl so much on the left-handers.
That's easy.
So it was one of those ones that, I needed him to make a mistake.
Another
Stunners to go with the line. Yeah.
Another left-handed to say, yep.
That was my babies.
I launch him in there.
Yeah. You look at those guys. You look at the Hayden, the Australian guy. There's another guy that he could actually dominate. Ball one, he can hit you, pass you, and then he can hit you 6 out of 6, pass you, because he's told your length to him, is actually he can just lunge and hit it over the top.
But the thing, what made Makhaya good, apart from everyone talks about the angle and all of that, that it was the accuracy.
Yeah.
And he made us look like an absolute Makhaya.
So
My very, very first Lions preseason trip, we went to PE to play against the Warriors in a 4-day game. And our bowling coach at the time, Gordon Parsons, had a bowling mat about this thick and that long. He put it on a mark and said, right, hit it, warm-ups. And as youngsters, we'd run in there, getting ready for that season, we hit it 1 out of 8. We're lucky. But we were in and around the area. Makhaya strolls in there. He's got a bomber jacket on, getting ready for the 4-day game. Gordon goes, Makhaya, show the boys. First ball.
But how I used to.
And then he did it again. 3 times in a row at the same mat. And all of us were just like, Mackie, you're making it look like absolute yeah. And he just showed you the class of the league.
You know what I used to do that, probably you guys don't understand. Before I start bowling, I used to cut my own steps, from the popping crease to where the ball is going to land. And I used to create 3 marks. The one in front, and then put that one there. So my aim was in the center, not the one on, we call it 6 or whatever, fits the, but my one was on 5th, 4th. So I aim on that one. So when you put a mat there, it's easy to just overlook because you already put that one in mind, that's where I'm gonna, land my ball, aiming at those 3 markers.
And that what he's talking about, marking out the length that he wants to bowl, he did it that day for us, showed us how we did it. And 2 seasons later, the Lions won the 4-day comp because every single bowler who lives around in the Lions attack. So we had KG, we had me, we had Huddersfield, we had Lopsy, Homi Machika, Kevin Deacon. And what we all did was we went and we played Proteas and we went and we marked out what length we wanted to hit because Makhaya did it and it worked. And proof is in the pudding.
Nice. Yeah. This is a part of you that maybe you had to develop. You weren't naturally like that, and we'll lead up to eventually drawing blood to
Australians.
Yes.
Let's take a look at Andrew Simons.
Oh dear me.
Facing up to you. I don't know what year that was.
Yeah. Which year was that? I don't know.
2007, wasn't it?
Yes. Just after, I thought that was a new ball though, eh? And then a little bit, what should I say, that 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Yeah, and then he walked in, and then remember the same hour. That's when Shane Warne says he cannot bat. It's too dark. Guess who was next to me? And then he decided to run away. Sean Pollock. Polly bowled his over from the golf end, and then he comes to me and then he says, Mackie is playing his 100. And I said, and then he tried to tell me I was a wicket play. And then I said, Polly, this guy is playing his 100. What should I do to him? Guess Polly, what did he say?
Get him on the head.
No, he says, where mommy? And then he ran away because I said, I'm going to hit him. And then Polly says, where mommy? And then he ran away. And then I said, okay, let me do what I said I want to do. And then we saw him fall. And then I caught the ball. And then I said, how's that?
Speaking of catching the ball, Makhaya, you are absolutely legendary. I just said. You are legendary for being hit for the world's biggest sixes and still shouting catch.
No, most of us, we do. Tell me, who's the bowler that when they see the ball goes in the air and they're not saying catch?
Every time I knew off the bat, I just looked down. That's big.
No, I always believe that he will come down.
I did somewhere. And that was my favorite thing. Every time the ball hit Makhaya, catch!
Yep, there's a guy there. You don't even know how he goes. Look at how the T20 goes. Let me put it that way. The guys hit the ball, it goes up in the end, and we look where the ball goes, and there's poop, right, still in the center. You know what I mean? So it doesn't matter. You can hit the ball and you look up and say catch, because there is someone there.
Yeah.
But we don't know how far the
Johnny
meter
Bairstow
goes.
shots it for a forward defensive. And there's no one within 50 meters.
But we've seen two. We've seen two in the Betway SA20 now. The David Miller one in Cape Town, where he hits it out the middle, and I thought it was going massive six.
Yes.
Wind blows it, gets caught, and Johanre Proteas in Porter's.
No. You get the Port Elizabeth one. Rebecca, what you call Vian Mulder.
Even
Slaughtered it.
Even Classy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, same thing. Yeah.
Slaughtered it. And then we thought that die gone. As you guys say it in English. Die gone. Oops. Straight to Jansen. Jansen, poop.
Yeah.
That was it. So don't blame me saying catch. Probably the same guy says catch it.
Chris Morris famous for his on-field insults to batsmen.
What was it?
Nah, when I crossed the line, I was a different animal.
Yeah.
I used to try back it up with pace, which I didn't really have. So I was one of those guys that spoke a lot, didn't really back it up with all my pace.
So you were not like me.
No.
Who bowls the ball and turn around?
You never gave guys...
No, I
Not even
No.
in East Xhosa.
No.
Did you ever give a guy also send-off?
Yeah, I only did that to Cullinan.
Cullen.
Yeah.
I must send down go Cullen.
When Vesper Dregs was bowling to him, I'm on fine leg. And then Vez, he was just bombing him and I'm saying, kill him! And then he got mad at that, and then he got out on trying to pull from one under Haywood.
Because it's mostly the pace bowlers that can do that. But I mean, you mentioned Andrew Simon. We saw the video, the late Andrew Simon.
Yes. Yes.
But he was quite a competitor. Eh? Yeah, I always remember he used to tackle the oak.
But what would
Streak of it as well. You remember that?
Beautiful shoulder charge.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Things are getting interesting here, but for the sake of aesthetics, we need to see some younger and prettier people on this show. And for that, we're going back to our heartthrob roving reporter, Chris Martin.
What do you love about the Betway SA20?
We love just enjoying the sunlight of South Africa.
I love sitting here with all my friends. Great stuff.
Quick, exciting, fast-paced.
The vibe, the energy, the weather, the sun is out, and I'm shining.
2 players in the Betway SA20 to get in the octagon UFC fight.
This youngster playing for Pretoria Capitals, Stevie
Stoltz.
I'd like to see Jimmy Nisham have a go.
So the youngster versus the old dog.
I think the finals would come down to Stoitis and Rabada, and I definitely think Rabada would choke him out.
It's Isanda Magala because he has the body, and Marco Jansen because he has the reach.
Which cricketer are you choosing to take Drickers down?
Probably Lungi Ngidi.
Hey! Lungi will sweat him out of the ring. What's your favourite Makhaya Ntini memory?
Wanderers, and he bowled the off stump out of the ground.
10 Lords, that was definitely one to remember. And then that 4-3-8 game, the single that he got to take us over the line.
Those are the memories we're talking about.
Makhaya Ntini, one of our legends of SA cricket. Would you see yourself involved in coaching one of the national teams one day and giving back to your country? It will be lovely to see you, coach.
What are the feelings about people are saying, where's this guy? Why isn't he coaching in the national setup? Do you have the desire?
Oh, most definitely. I would definitely love to. And then the first thing that I will do is to make sure that they don't bowl no ball anymore. I'll get rich. If they bowl a no ball and get a wicket off a no ball, damn, you pay a lot of money. But I think the only way that these guys can be able not to bowl a no ball again, you guys must use a tape measure.
Yeah.
To
I use steps. I was old school.
Yes. Okay. Me and you, I used to use my own steps.
My legs never change length.
Absolutely.
Correct.
Perfect. So that will be my first thing to change. I will say to them, stop using the tape.
I agree.
Because the tape is confusing a hell out of you. You know what I mean? So if you use your own step, that's how you're gonna run. That's where you're gonna run. So your step that you take, they measure your way of running, getting to the thing, to the wicket. And then at the same time, if you look how they actually land, you know that they land wicket to wicket. The back foot is at the wicket, the back wicket. And then that's why when you stretch more, you'll be able to go in front of the front line. For me, if you take that and take 1 foot back, so that means when you land in that marker that you make. So you've got the gap between the stumps and where your back foot land, so that you can either land half of the front foot, of the front line.
I think with Mackie's explanation there as well, if you take the stride length and then you divide it by the steps you take and you multiply it by the root square of 3, and then because I didn't ask the show, then also and then you take the amount of professional players you have versus the wickets that you've taken in a single season.
But let me put it this way.
That maths is legit.
Legit. No, you can actually correct me if I'm wrong. As a senior bowler, for South Africa.
None of us would know that.
No, I'm with Morris. Look at this way. Look at this way. In 1 year, you bowled almost 50 no balls.
That's unacceptable.
Look at that.
I agree.
The only way that you can change that, that's my opinion. They can use it if they want to. They can say I'm talking nonsense, but it worked for me. And then I never bowled a single no ball.
Tell us, Makhaya Ntini, about your illustrious rugby career.
I played against
Wing for Dale, second 15. You played with former Springbok Bobadi
Bobo, yes.
And like Herschel Gibbs, you considered going pro. Which suggestion of positions our fans have made, some suggestions for positions they think you should have played?
Where? Rugby.
Let's actually ask John de Villiers his opinion where Makhaya should have played on the rugby field.
I asked the fans, if Makhaya Ntini played rugby, what position would he play? And we're going to go in current form or then playing days.
It's a fair.
So you can decide on both. I want playing days and I want current form.
How's so there's obviously speed, so definitely not a single digit on the back, so not a forward. Definitely backline player.
This is playing days, huh?
Yeah. Playing though. I reckon outside back.
Okay.
11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
Yeah. Whatever they.
Yeah.
Okay. I started from I was a hooker for my rural. And then I said to them, not a chance. No. There is no way that I can play a hooker. I went to scrum off. And then they say my ball is too fast. So the guys, the flyer, cannot catch the ball. Only the first center that can catch it. So I left there. And then I went fly off. And then they say I'm running too fast. So I'm leaving the guys behind. So, and then I end up going all the way and I said, okay, put me to the wing so that I can see you guys running in front of me. So when you pass, I'm already on my move.
So just explain this to me. So you were running too fast and passing too
hard.
If you do it, you've got a really good pass.
Yeah.
Take that away and you're going to put you on the wing.
Yeah, but they say as a flyer,
That makes
as a flyer,
100% sense to me.
Yeah, as a flyer, I was too quick, so I leave the others behind. No.
See, Rassi, thinking ahead.
You know, what
So
I've
that's why
learned-
they put
what
me in
I've
the
learned
wing.
in rugby is that if something makes too much sense, then you don't do it.
The only thing that makes sense
Does it?
is that nothing makes sense in rugby. Is that true?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're thinking about pace. Sorry, I know I'm interrupting you, Nick, because I'm taking your job here.
There you go. You're doing your job.
Fair.
The fans really like him.
Yeah, can they mute? They wanted to mute me in the settings, but they can't.
Okay.
So talking about your pace. So there's obviously a story going on, and I want you to elaborate on it. Back in the day in Australia, they used to have crowd races.
Yes.
And apparently the team is just saying you to go beat the crowd.
No.
Races.
Wait. This is how during lunchtime, there was whatever, I don't know what club is that used to come and run. So myself and Brian McMillan, we were about to go and practice, lunchtime a ball to wherever that's a better is. And then I'm standing outside and Mecca said, Mac, do you know that I can beat these guys? And then Mecca says, no, you're lying. I said, I promise you I can beat these guys. Because I could see how they run and then compare myself and then with what they do. I said, Mackie, I can beat those guys. And then he says, Mac, are you sure we're going to set it up? Yeah, he did. We came back there for the ODIs. And then Mackie set that one up. And then I beat them.
And what was it, 400 meters?
It's 400 meters, yeah.
And your full protest kit.
No, yeah, but I had to
Padded up.
wear, but I had to wear shorts and whatever the thing is. Yeah. And then I did.
I want to ask you about commentary because
You can ask him whatever.
but also commentary, guys. As a born to cricket commentary, it was a cricket commentary base. Rather descriptive. You've been doing this for a while now.
Yes.
But apparently your Afrikaans cricket commentary
It's
is
horrible.
what's really amazing.
Oh,
Can you give us a little bit of Afrikaans cricket commentary? Throw in some old school names like finding the Villiers, Louis Wilkinson. Can you give us your best Afrikaans comment? Come on, Makhaya.
That's
Come on.
the worst.
You guys want to hear it?
I want to hear it.
Come on.
It's a poster comedy and then the Afrikaans next.
Yes.
And then now,
Friend you with.
yeah, Jeremy Ferris. Now myself and Luleki, we're on a box that says, look, I wonder what these guys are saying in Africa because they're just awesome cover drive. And then Jeremy just went,
Yeah.
and
You can hear him. No, you got earphones on and you can hear the rhino going crazy next door. That's incredible.
We said, them, look, let's see, let's put this thing together and see how this. Probably they say that. Komedenge, gatos, lekkere, koude drive, kijk die armen, mooi armen.
Die elleboog.
Gatos, gatos, kijk daar die ballen.
Uyakwazi isibhulu, uyakwazi ithetha isibhulu, man. Hey.
We slaughtered it.
Yeah.
I'm
Makhaya,
telling you.
what's the reverse sweep in Afrikaans?
Have you no idea?
Omgekeerde vir jou.
Hoekom is dat commentate or
No, that's not a
leadertate?
omgekeerde vir jou.
Give us some closer fielding positions. Well, yeah, you've come up with a few.
Sine nkomo, sine
Cow corner,
nkomo,
Komen,
biza enye ke ne.
okay. Short leg,
Emsileni empundwini,
meaning
a catcher kaloku, someone who's short leg.
behind the cows, Mpundwen, behind the cows.
And okanye sithi phansi kwesicheme.
Okay.
Phansi kwesicheme, behind the cows. Yeah.
Silly point. Panzikwen, Kwempumlo.
Okay.
Under the nose means something different in Cape Town. And then, this is a great fact here. In 2018, as of 2018, Xhosa appeal officially recognized by the ICC. Kunjani is now recognized as an official appeal for a wicket.
Imagine the Indians there. Kunjani. That's good. Oh, man.
I want to get serious for a moment. Coming back to Black Lives Matters, was it 2020 when these testimonies came out about your experience and others in the Proteas team, there was always the legend of you jogging to the ground because of fitness reasons. And you said, no, actually you felt isolated in that team at the time.
When all of that, came through, it actually, even though I never confronted anybody and say, this is why you treated me this way. So I actually had that little chat with Smith as well during the game in Chure, the first game, the 2020. And I explained to him why I felt that way. But he says, no, you never thought I've been treated, unfairly. But we shake our hands and says, it happened, it was the past, then we don't have to dwell into that. So that's why I never went into those meetings, because I thought that it was my way of, avoiding a little bit of it, because I represent the country, number one. And then number two, I've got a son that is playing the same game of cricket. So for me, saying that I was being treated unfairly in a way, and all that being a way of closing the doors for my kid, I need to protect them. That was one of the things that it had to come first than as being someone who's telling things that had happened. Man, I didn't even know the name George was not the right way of, because if you call him George and then I take it as a George is a what you call curious little monkey, and then I was curious. So for me, it was a learning curve. I was learning every second day. So being George, it was one of those favorite names that I actually enjoy, because everything that happens next to me, I want to know how you bowl, how you hold a cricket ball, how do you prepare, so the name George came through that. But not knowing that if someone will call you a curious little monkey, it will be a race thing. I didn't know that.
Mark Boucher spent as we discussed earlier, spent his career taking catches off your bowling. And then in the end, he ended up being
the name. Yeah. It was a sad thing, though.
For races. And people think that you and Mark have beef about that. But is it actually just because he went to Selborne and you went to Dale?
No. Firstly, let's correct that. Why they think that I had a beef with Mark? Mark is my favorite guy. Every time I see him, he still call me George. Everybody still call me George. I never correct them on that. That's the name.
Yes.
But nobody knows, okay. I didn't even know it myself. That's a word that should not be used as a person, but call it. Now, Mark Boucher, I'll say that out loud, never had a beef with anybody that I played the game of cricket with, unless they are the one that had a beef with me, because I was probably too noisy in the changing room.
You're not noisy.
I never stopped.
You?
I never stopped. So probably that would have been the problem. But otherwise, I enjoyed playing cricket with each and every single one of them. They had to catch my balls when they come. Not my balls, the balls that are balls.
Yeah, we don't want to knock them out.
Yeah. So
and the Bouch, let's just talk about the Bouch friendship. I mean, how incredible to then culminate having grown up together through cricket at the Wanderers, the 438.
Yeah.
The 438. Speaking of Afrikaans commentary, do you know what was said about you in Afrikaans?
What they said about me?
Koti Grove says in Afrikaans, Makhaya. Hy het gesoebat. How do you explain that? He was begging.
Yeah, begging.
He was begging you. He said, Makhaya, net 'n enkele loopie, asseblief. Just
Why run?
One little run. Loopie.
Run. What is a loppie?
Enkele loopie. Run.
Enkele.
Who are you facing? It's Red knee, balls 1-2 on middle stump.
Let me tell you about that. When Holly was coming off, Boucher came to fetch me because I was walking. And then Boucher said to me, he's going to bowl 2 balls to you. It's either a bouncer or a yorker. Just look for those. If he bowl a bouncer, I'm halfway. So you just run. Because Kilchrist is way too far to be able to throw it to the stumps. I'll be already on the other end. So that's what he said. So when Lee ball a little bit of a bit fuller, top of off, boom. That's all I needed. The one thing that I want to go back. I just want to correct this thing. Some people might not understand that. Boucher used to collect all his old clothes, all the shoes, gloves, and everything. And then he will give it to me. And then I'll take it back home to the guys that they are in need of it. So that's kind of a friendship that we had. You know, I don't want this thing that we had a bit of a confrontation with them. No, that was not.
So it's quite a nice moment that you obviously come grown up.
Yeah,
you guys have been together forever.
Yeah.
As teammates and friends, and then you come to this moment against Australia, and you've got him saying, "This is what you need to do." Yeah, do you see that moment, or there must have been?
Yeah, it was a moment, But Galo, just remember, both of us are fighting for one thing, is to win, because nobody ever thought that, we will.
Hey, none of us thought.
No.
434.
No. Let me exactly, but that's the reason they was winning. Guess who broke the ice?
Colours.
Yeah. When you walked in the change room and said they are 20 runs short. And then all of a sudden we started laughing.
Bowlers did their job. Bowlers did their job, but everyone said
it 20 runs short. And then all of a sudden we started laughing. And then everyone started relaxing. And then you look at how Gibbs batted.
You wanted to mention him earlier.
Well, we know why he was relaxed.
No, I know. You know why? No, hold on.
The devil said it.
No, guys know nothing.
He was recovering.
Wait. Gibbs, what you call Mr. Pollock was the convener of selector. Yeah. Mr. Pollock, his room was facing the lift. Early hours of the morning, Gibbs walked in, and then Mr. Pollock's door is wide open.
Oh, dear.
Is the lift open? Guess who comes out? Ashel Gibbs, 6 o'clock in the morning. The game started 10. It's a convener of selector.
Yeah.
And then, when Gibbs is just telling us the story, he says, Mr. Pollock came out of the bathroom, and then they bump into each other eye to eye. And then he's just saying, morning. And then he went to his room. The first thing that the moment you get to the ground, Mr. Kula, Conrad Gibbs, and then, we know where were you? You only came out this morning. And I says, yes, Haji, I did. And then I saw Mr. Pollock. So that's who Gibbs is. And then guess what? 177 later.
Mm-hmm.
Boom.
A quick round here, Makhaya.
Yes,
You're
sir.
playing Legends cricket, the likes of Callis, Gibbs, Steyn, etc.
That was England.
You are now how old?
47.
47. Imran Tahir, still playing SA20 at 45.
45, yeah.
Are you considering a comeback?
No, any day. But if
Legends
they
League.
want.
Legends
No, I
League.
am part of that, the Legend League.
Legends League.
Legends.
But if they want me to come back and play for the Proteas, I would love that.
Now, you represented Chennai in the IPL for 3 seasons. Is it true you turned down offers from Bollywood?
Yes.
After
the song.
a video went viral of you serenading Ravi Chanda Ashwin with the song. Yes. Could you do a rendition for?
Kalaila Leane.
Please make it stop.
Makhaya Ntini, what an honor it's been to have you. Thank you for everything you've done for the sport, for our country. Your never say die, never lie down. Passion for the game has inspired millions of us. All we can say is, Kubela phambili mdlakazi.
Bulela ngokwesikhosi.
Phambili mdlakazi.
Alala. Cut.